Hello, hello, and welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot channel. My name is Raquel. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Today, I am bringing you our work career tarot, right? In which we pick a deck, right? It's that pick a card kind of thing. I say pick a deck, but YouTube likes it, I think, better when I say pick a card. That's why you see that on the titles. But it's an interactive tarot where you pick the deck or the fairy that most resonates with you, and we look at work and career for you, right? So we take a look at the main message from Spirit for our work life right now, and then we break it down in what challenges or obstacles that can become opportunities, and also the what are the next steps recommended. All right, so let's get started. All right, roll those shoulders back. Let's ground and center and connect through the breath. All right, roll the shoulders back, move the neck a little bit, wiggle your body like this. The energy moves, and we can start fresh. And let's take a deep inhale in through the nose. Hold for a few seconds. Then exhale gently through the mouth, elongating that exhale, right? It should feel like blowing a birthday candle. All right. Or gently blowing a birthday candle. All right. Okay, now pick the deck. We have 3 different colors, 3 different sizes. Pick the deck or the fairy that you feel resonates more with you, that calls you intuitively. Oops, let me just move things around a little bit. Okay, ready? Okay, today we're going to start with the yellow fairy. So we are going to set the intention of what it is that we would like. We tell the cards what's our intention, what we want to know. And we say we would like guidance for our work, career, our professional life. We would like also to see what challenges we're facing that we can make it into opportunities, and what are the recommended steps moving forward. And prayer of protection in love and light for our greatest good. Okay, there we go. Let's start shuffling these cards and see what is the main message for you. Now, what are some challenges that can be turned into opportunities? 2 cards are responding. And now, what is or what are the next steps moving forward that we should need to focus on? And again, 2 cards are responding. Okay, so let's see here what is the main advice, the main guidance. The 3 of Wands, interesting card. So we have an energy of the number 3, that it is of growth, right? And Wands, that it is a fire element, that it is usually moving forward with, it's that fire in the tummy, right? It's that intention, right? The Wands, it's the magic one directing the energy. So this 3 is saying, okay, we come from the 2, right? So 3 is the number after. And it says the main advice here is that you need to focus on where you are directing your energy in your career, right? So the main energies say, okay, there is growth that can happen. Now, you need to know where you're going. You need to direct that energy, right? There is growth in your work, there is growth professionally for you, but you need to set a very clear intention of where it is that you're going right now. So The reflection this card brings, or your homework, like I like to say, is to sit with yourself, either journal it or think things through what it is that you want career wise. What it is that you want professionally? What would make you happy? What feels like a purpose? Um, Something that really interests you. Where do you want to go? And then is that something that can be achieved from the type of job or company you're in, or is that something that needs some adjustments and maybe to start looking for a new job, either inside the same company or outside the company in another place? And if you are putting a project out there, right? Either you have a side business or there is a project that you want to launch. Again, it's about setting direction, right? It's about directing the energy and your intention, what it is that you want and where it is that you're going. Okay. Now, what obstacles, challenges are we facing that can be or that will become opportunities? And the answer comes from the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant. Look at this, two major arcana. I always tell you, major arcana means that it's going to impact you more, that you need to listen. This is important. All right, so what is the Wheel of Fortune saying? The Wheel of Fortune is about changes, the turning of the wheel, right? And here, this is what it's saying. If the main message is like, okay, you need to direct your energy right now, you need to decide where you're going, the Wheel of Fortune is yes. And once you do that, there are some changes that need to be made. It is time to the wheel turns because we turn it, right? And if we turn it into changes that are positives. So right here is saying, okay, you need to make some changes, some conscious changes in your work and your career, right? And you may need to reach out to somebody who can either help you take your career to the next level or get clarity. So the main challenge is that something is not moving, right, for you. And it's already telling you in your main advice that you need to set that intention into direction. Intention into direction, right? Set the intention and where are you going? And the biggest challenge or obstacle is that things may not be moving. And the cards say, you need to make the move. There needs to be a change. And if you don't know where to go from here, reach out to somebody who could be a mentor, who could give you advice, who could coach you. But right now, you need more clarity and to change things around. So it's not only about setting intention and getting clear on the direction, is also about making some conscious changes and perhaps even reaching out to somebody who could assist you. So you have a lot of homework here. First, define what it is that you want for your career. Second of all, what is not working right now that critically thinking you need to change. And then who could help you? So maybe somebody you know, maybe your manager, maybe somebody at your work, or maybe outsourcing, maybe reaching out to a coach, maybe even getting a tarot reading. But yes, so reaching out to somebody who could help you with clarity and to define the changes for the direction where you're going. And now, what are the next steps the cards recommend? And again, you're getting a major arcana, right? So it's important to pay attention. Please excuse my cat or one of my cats. I am a proud cat lady. I love animals and I have a lot of cats that I have rescued, so companion cats. So excuse that she went by. She likes when I do tarot, she hangs around. Anyway, here we go. So the next steps that the cards are recommending. Okay, judgment. So judgment, Could be answering a call, could be also things from the past that are coming. And here, this card, what I sense is saying, okay, so there may be something that has been nudging you, right? Either a thought, a feeling, right, about your work, right? And this is, okay, you need to pay attention to that. Whatever it is, it could be a feeling that you need to start something, a feeling that you need to change jobs, that sensation that you may, who knows, maybe you need to talk to somebody, maybe um, again start a project, change jobs, maybe go up in your job. There is something nudging you, something that keeps coming, right? Like an idea or a sensation. Pay attention to it, right? Pay attention, because that's the next step that will help you find a little bit more clarity towards the direction and what needs to be changed. And then the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups, that it is a water element, so it is emotions. Say there may be something that you need to put behind you, right? And because this is judgment, and the judgment card also is making us look at the past, is saying there may be something either that happened or something now in the present that brings out a lot of emotions that needs to be left behind. Maybe it is changing jobs, right? Maybe it is changing departments. Maybe it is redirecting the project or the business idea that you have. But not only you need to hear to your inner voice, and that calling or those sensations and feelings you're getting, is that something needs to be left behind at this time. Okay, so clear messages and homework for you too. So the cards bring a little bit of everything. So the main message is that there is room for growth. So the energies are there to saying there is the momentum for growth, but you need to be clear on the direction and set that intention. There are changes that need to happen. You need to be proactive, conscious about the changes that need to happen. So please define where you're going and what it is that you want. Second, look at what has been challenging, what's not working that you can change, and reach out to somebody who can assist you at this time. And the first steps moving forward is realize what is something that keeps coming back, that keeps nudging you, that feels like a call or a sensation or a thought or feeling, and pay attention to that, right? And maybe it's telling you that something needs to be left behind, that something needs to be released, needs to be let go of. And it is something that, yes, it will create an emotional maybe feeling of loss or of grief, but it is the best for you to move forward, right? So these are some reflections for you to do. Well, I hope you liked your reading today. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this message if you know somebody who could benefit from it. Okay, now if you would like a tarot reading or a tarot session, like here it says get help from somebody, and you choose me in this case, know that I offer one-on-one sessions that can be done either over the phone or by video call. Go on my website or my Gumroad storefront, right? And I also offer pre-recorded readings that get sent directly to your email. Okay, all right, so great cards, a lot of information. And now let's go into the second deck for those of you who have picked the Blue Fairy and this very large, beautiful deck. So, as I said, this is a large deck, and I think the jury is still out on how I feel about large decks. So it is beautiful. They are very pretty, but I do feel that they are harder to manage, right? So sometimes I try to shuffle them like this, but it's not my favorite way to shuffle. I was taught tarot old style, so I do not do the poker or the casino type of shuffle. So I do one hand over the other, and this is my favorite style. But this type, that it's how to handle a large deck, is still not my favorite either. So that's why sometimes I have issues with bigger decks. But it is an extremely beautiful deck. So it's worth having. Anyway, a little bit of my ramblings here for you, so you get to know me more. I try to speak a little bit about me and who I am in my videos. Like this, you get a feel for the person behind the cards, right? There are a lot of tarot readers are there. As I always tell you, tarot is a tool, right? So the intuition, the type of work each reader does with the cards and their background comes through. And in the age of AI, the best thing we can bring forth is our humanity, right? So you getting to know me a little bit more gives you more of a personal type of interaction. And please, send me in the comments or reach out if there are certain videos that you would like me to make, or you want more information about me and my services as well. Okay, let's set the intention for those of you who picked this card before I keep rambling. All right, so we would like guidance for our work and career and professional life. What challenges or obstacles do we face that can be turned into opportunities? And what are the recommended next steps to focus on in love and light for our highest good? All right, let's do this a little bit. Okay, we get, is it two? Yes, just making sure because sometimes they get stuck together. And the obstacles, the challenge, and what to focus on. All right. Let's begin with the general advice. And the cards that answer our call are the Malika of Staffs, so that would be our Queen of Wands, sorry, and the Daughter of Cups, that would be our Page of Cups. All right, so we have a Queen and a Page, we have Wands and Cups. So let's begin with the initial message, right? And it's this Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a feminine energy. And when we talk about feminine energy, and we think about the feminine energies, that divine feminine, right? And the divine feminine is creation, it is nurturing, it is caring, it is loving, right? And so this Queen brings that, but also brings the fire element of Wands. And that fire element is that intention, that, like I always say with Wands, that fire in the belly, that wanting something, right? So right now what this Queen is saying, it is that your professional life, your projects, or your career needs to be tended to, needs to be cared about, and you need to put more intentional thought after it, right? You need to nurture how you want your career to grow. You cannot be passive or be wishy-washy, however that goes, about it. You need to be intentional, and you need to care for your career, for your work, or even for that project that you want to bring into life. And that's by being very, like I said, very intentional, caring about it. You know, it's just as if you were caring for a plant or for a tree. You plant the seed, and then you take care of it. And the Page of Cups just says, by doing that and pouring your love and emotion into it, your career will grow. right? And just stay open, have your heart open and your mindset open for where your career is going and it's growing, right? But in order for that growth to come, first you need to start putting more love and care into it, right? And if you are in a job that you tell me right now, if you were in front of me, okay, what about if I'm in a job that I do not care about, that I am just here for the paycheck and for survival, right? So what this queen is saying is that, okay, then maybe that's not for you, right? So understandably, you'd need to stay at your job for that paycheck and for survival. But you need to start caring more about your professional life. Where are you going? Maybe start a side business or a side hustle while you keep that job until the other thing grows. Maybe change jobs. So it's about caring enough about your professional life, and then it will grow. Okay, what obstacles or challenges are you facing right now that can be turned into opportunities? Major Arcana 16, obviously, the Tower. So, perfect card for challenges and obstacles, right? It just feels like a destruction of a foundation here. It says no. So, what happens is that there may be some beliefs. Remember, this is major arcana, so it's important here to pay double the attention. So, there may be some beliefs in your work life, in your profession right now, some things that you have acquired through the years that they may have served you in the past, but right now they are not serving you moving forward. And they need to be re examined. So it needs to be destroyed or taken down in order to build differently, right? So that could be beliefs about your work, attitudes, actions, whatever it is. Here is your homework and the reflection for you. What is something that you carry from the past that has built your career a certain way, that it used to serve you, but now in the present moment and how the future is going, it doesn't serve you anymore and needs to be examined, tear down, and built differently. And what do we get for the next step moving forward? What's the next steps that the card suggests? And the card that answers is the Three of Swords, right? The spirit of the Three of Swords tends to be sometimes of sadness, betrayal. This is how the card is seen. Now, one thing that I also try to always remember in you, that remember to tell you on all my readings and my videos, is that there are no good or bad cards. Each card has good advice, has protective advice, right? Has a light and a shadow, right? And then the other aspect is that each card has a meaning, right? That comes from the book or from the Rider-Waite-Smith that this deck follows. But then there is, based on the position in the spread, based on the question asked to the cards, and based also on the type of work the reader does, and that's how that message gets crafted as well. Okay, so even though the Three of Swords can be seen as a card of sadness, of betrayal, in this case we're doing work or career reading, right? And Three of Swords is giving us advice. And what is the advice of the Three of Swords when it is about the next steps moving forward? So the next steps moving forward is to stop doing things that you do not like and that are hurting you in a way because they are blocking your energy, right? So it's interesting because we started the reading by saying the Queen of Wands is telling you it's time to start caring about your professional life. And here the Tower is telling you there are some things that come from before that have built a foundation that does not work for you professionally. And the Three of Swords says, stop doing things that hurt you, okay? So that could be, I'm putting examples. I'm not saying this is what happens to you, but it could be maybe gossiping at work, maybe procrastinating, maybe it could be not caring about your job, not caring about your career. Um, you are the only one that knows what it is that is hurting you professionally right now. So the card is saying, okay, you need to stop doing this. That's the next step. Build a different foundation, build different beliefs around your work. Start caring for your professional life. Our life is made out of different aspects, right? We have family, we have partners, we have some have children. So whatever it is, we fill our life with different aspects, hobbies, things we like, sports or exercise, whatever it is. So your professional life is important and needs to be cared about because we live in a world where we need to survive. And for the way to survive for humans is to be able not only to survive but to thrive, is to be able to pay for things. That does not mean that we need to be extremely materialistic, but it's living the reality that things need to be paid, some things need to be done. So your professional life needs to be cared about and nurtured so it can grow in the way you want to. So there are some aspects that need to be, or beliefs that need to be reassessed, kind of like destroyed and rebuilt on it, and you need to stop doing things that hurt you professionally. All right, I hope you liked your reading. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, or share this reading with somebody that you think can benefit from it. Okay, let's look at the last deck for those of you who picked the purple fairy. Today we have this purple fairy that matches the deck very well. Okay, let's move the cards a little bit and set the intention. So we would like guidance and advice for our work, career, professional life. Also to look at the challenges and obstacles that we're facing and how to turn them into opportunities, as well as what are the next steps recommended. All right. All right. Let's put them aside. We're getting 2 cards for each here. And the next steps. Whoa, a lot jumped. Well, whenever something jumps, I always get them. So we got 4 cards. So let's allow them to speak. Okay, I just don't know if they're all going to fit, but we're going to allow them to speak. All right, let's see. Main guidance, and we get the 4 of Wands, and we get the 8 of Cups. All right, so these beautiful kitties. So the 4 of Wands is answering. What's the main advice? So the main advice professionally for you is a stable foundation, right? Being set on what you want, but creating a stable foundation. So if it is that you want to advance in your company, you have to do the job that you're doing very well and lay whatever you feel is the best foundation for you to go up. If it is that you are starting your own business, your own project, right? Set a good foundation. Do not start doing things that, well, you have not said what are the foundational blocks, right? So look into what types of licensing or business requirements are important where you live. Set out either if you're going to form an LLC or how you're going to set that, or your business account, whatever it is, right? how to market, or whatever it is. If you stay in your company, if you're going up on another company, if you're opening your own business, this card just says set the foundation, right? Move away from things that are not adding anything towards where you're going. So set the foundation and stop looking at things that are not necessary right now or that are robbing your time away from what you need. So in this image, right, that we see all these cups that need to be washed, and he's here playing with this other cup. He's saying ignore what is doesn't take you anywhere right now and focus on what's going to help you advance. But the main advice is for you to lay a good foundation towards what it is that you want. It is once, it's that fire element, it's the energy of a 4, good foundation right now. Now, what obstacles or challenges are you facing that can be turned into opportunities? And answers, another 4, but this time the 4 of Cups and Justice, right? That it's a major arcana. So what to see, because we have 2 4s, right? And 4s do talk the energy of the number 4, of that foundation, that solid place of stability. And here is to lay that foundation for the things that you want, or like lay it well for your work. But here we have a 4 of Cups, that it is usually a lack of motivation or apathy, right? Getting distracted by things that do not matter instead of focusing on what matters. And it's interesting because that's kind of what this 8 here is telling us. So what this card is bringing and is that there may be a lack of motivation, or there may be quite a bit of distraction, and right now is to self-motivate yourself and bring things into focus so you can have a target, a goal, and go towards that, right? And Justice is just telling you, okay, so the problem you're facing here may be not being motivated or being distracted and not laying that good foundation, right? So here Justice says, whatever you are bringing out, whatever energy you're putting out there for work is what you are going to get back, right? So it's kind of like the karma card. But in this case, it talks about energetically, right? So if you set a good foundation, if you do not get distracted, motivate yourself, what you are going to get back are the results that you want towards your work. If you're not laying a good foundation, you get easily distracted and you remain unmotivated, you are going to have the results that you do not want. So it's up to you. So reflect on that. Now, what to focus on? And we got 4 cards, so let's put them in order and begin with this, because the cards that answered our call are Strength, the Ace of Cups, and this is the 8 of Leaves, right? That it would be the 8 of Air. And here we have this is the 8 of Wands, sorry, and the 6 of Cups. All right. So what is this letting us know here? What are the next steps? So the next steps, we start with another major arcana, and the major arcana is Strength, and Strength is saying it's about self-control, right? Knowing how to manage your impulses. So mostly about being in control of yourself and any urges that you have. So right now it is about motivating yourself, staying on focus, laying out a plan, laying out a foundation. So managing your emotions, your attitudes, and your actions towards your work. So being in self-control. I would say the word for you right now is self-control. By having self-control, you will be able to recognize opportunities, right? These opportunities are going to help you grow in your career, right? And you're going to be able to see with time that you have accomplished everything that you wanted. But in order to get there, it's important that you start with self-control. Self-control and recognizing opportunities that come your way, right? Knowing that the way to growth is with that self-control, and then moving forward towards the next things. You'll see that you learn from the past, that there are good things, but that you need to focus forward. Let's do a quick recap, because here there were a lot of cards. So we start by the main advice. It is to lay a good foundation for where you're going. So your goal for work, right? Be it your own business, be it going up in your company, you have to lay a good foundation. The first steps need to be met, and you have to be doing a good job. You cannot be distracted by things that really do not matter right now. Instead, motivate yourself. You need motivation and focus. Depending on the energy that you put out there is the energy that you're gonna come back. Then the first step that you need to do right now, it is gain self-control. Self-control towards your actions, your words, your thoughts, right? Be the one that's in charge of you. And then look out for opportunities. There may be opportunities that bring to new growth, and you are going to leave behind how things are right now, because you're going to be moving to a more successful and enjoyable and fulfilled future. All right. I hope you enjoyed your work and career reading this week. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share the video or share the messages if you know somebody could benefit from them. You never know, somebody could benefit, or somebody that you don't even think they could benefit could be benefiting from this. So share it, give a thumbs up, and subscribe so you get notifications of the daily shorts and the weekly readings. And if you want a private session with me, reach out for more information. You can send me a message, give me a call, or go to my website or my storefront at Gumroad to book your private session or purchase your pre-recorded reading sent into your mailbox. All right, have a wonderful rest of your week, and brightest blessings.